Our lives and property are in danger from this menagerie of costumed freaks. Batman, if you really want to help Gotham City, turn in your cape, hang up your mask, put the Batmobile on the blocks. In a word, retire.
But look at us. We have to hate somebody. There's only one way out of this waltz. Somebody dies.
Batman.
These videos are not for children. If you're a children, then piss off.
Hey there, it's me, your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and I've mentioned the movie Batman Forever quite a few times on this channel. I'm sorry for that, but I'm gonna continue to do it anyway. I've been very open that this is one of my all-time favorite Batman movies.
Move this man!
And as great as I think the final product is, I do still think that it could have been better, and that there were some elements to the movie that were a little bit lacking. But that might be because a lot of this movie was left on the cutting room floor. This goes beyond just having deleted scenes. We're talking about deleted plot points, deleted plots, deleted character development, deleted characters. A lot of what was left out of the movie seemed to be the deeper aspects of Joel Schumacher's initial vision, left out in favor of making the most inoffensive popcorn superhero flick the studio could think to make at the time. Batman Returns was a much more mature Batman movie. A movie that explored the darker elements of the character and characters of Gotham City. And these darker elements caused a pretty big problem for the studio. The public was very audibly upset.
So, Danny, what did you think of the movie?
It was very violent. It was a total attack against kids.
Angry that Warner Brothers had done something decidedly more adult with the character that they deemed to be strictly for children at the time. So when replacing directors and putting Joel Schumacher in the chair, their goal was to get Batman back on track. Their words, probably. Not mine. They wanted to market this icon towards a much younger demographic. They wanted to forget the darkness of the previous two installments in favor of trying to recapture the lighthearted goofiness of the 60s show.
Please, it's Batman!
So I think that's why a lot of these scenes didn't make the final cut. Because a lot of these cut scenes revolve around the psychological duality of the Batman and Bruce Wayne characters. This was obviously too mature of a theme for the studio at the time, and they didn't want anything adult in this kid's film this time around. Yet they okayed the cod pieces. Look, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, but that's mainly because I think the pictures speak for themselves. I think these deleted scenes show that Joel didn't always treat the subject matter like it was a toy commercial for 8-year-olds, much to the sheer grin of a 1990s Warner Brothers. I'd even argue that there are pieces of these deleted scenes that are more mature than the previous Tim Burton entries in the series. Sure, it's never as dark or gritty, it's just more mature. It shows that there is some rationale behind the irrational.
Maybe I didn't become Batman to fight crime. Maybe it was to fight that fear.
And instead you became the fear.
If that's true, then Batman is my enemy.
It showcases Bruce as a tortured soul, someone who has lived his entire life in guilt, in the face of rationality. The scenes that were taken out, I believe, add a lot of context to a couple of arcs. A lot of them follow Bruce and give the main character more of an actual role in his own movie. Of course, we all know that Bruce Wayne never truly gets over the loss of his parents, as there are certain wounds that never fully truly heal. Case in point, this moment from Batman v Superman.
Why did you say that name? Stop! Why did you say that name?
But here, we're shown that he holds himself responsible, remembering that it was actually him who suggested they go to the movies the night of their murder. Going into detail about Bruce's guilt over his parents' death makes a lot of the other scenes in the movie feel more purposeful. Now we know why he utters "I killed them" under his breath when referring to his mother and father. We get why he has this need to look over and take care of Dick Grayson. The emphasis that is put on Bruce's lost loved ones correlates directly to Dick Grayson's lost loved ones. These scenes add so much to the story, and it kind of legitimizes and emphasizes their point. I think these scenes' re-inclusion would infinitely benefit and better Batman Forever. Another Batman arc removed from this Batman movie was Bruce's past aggressions. In Batman 1989, he kills the Joker, and in Batman Returns, he kills the Penguin. These facts were brought up to some degree in the final cut of the movie, when Bruce tries to stop Dick from going down the same path as him, but the deleted scenes make this plot feel less abstract. Batman is obviously very insecure about what he's done, once again feeling this incredible amount of guilt. Two-Face plays upon these insecurities, reassuring Batman that he is as much of a killer as he is. We see the media paint Batman in a very negative light, not praising him for cleaning up crime, but blaming him for contributing to it with this influx of supervillains. I mean, to be fair, they have a point, but they shouldn't say it. Guy's just doing his best. All of this causes Bruce to question his cause, and more importantly, to question himself. Is he doing more bad than Bat? Bruce's internal struggle about his identity mirrors Two-Face's own identical issues. This inner fight of good and bad connects these two characters. They're the same currency, they're just different sides of the coin. I feel like these deleted scenes make a lot of the plot points feel like they come full circle. And it's interesting for me to see how they truly tie these characters together in some form or fashion. Bruce and Dick's shared trauma of watching their parents being taken before their very eyes, which, by the way, is a very specific horror that I can't imagine a whole lot of people experience. Batman and Two-Face living double lives, one being open about it and the other one having to wear a mask. With the context that these scenes provide, everything from the final cut just feels that much more important. There was clearly a bigger story being told here, more of a vision than the one that we've seen. I think these would have added a lot to the film. They're strong enough to exist on their own, but when you put them in the context of everything else that was happening in Batman Forever, I think they'd shed a light on a lot of the narratives present in the movie, and I think they'd add a lot of depth to this installment in the franchise. Do I think that all of these scenes would have been great additions? No, absolutely not. The same way that I don't think every scene included in the theatrical cut was entirely necessary or even good. There are some misses with these hits, but I believe there's a lot more good than bad here. What's important to note here is that I'm only going based on the 12 to 14 minutes of deleted scenes that have been shown to public audiences. It is painfully clear that there are a lot more scenes that have still yet to be released. As of right now, we only have so much to go by. But if you haven't heard already, there is in fact a movement that occasionally trends on Twitter. A hashtag asking Warner Brothers to restore the Joel Schumacher cut. And there have even been some whispers that the WB does in fact have an extended cut of the movie already completed, that only some select few behind closed doors have seen. Being that I already have a strong fondness for this movie, I'm really dying to see what a director's cut of the film would look like. It would almost be poetic, seeing the more child-friendly version of this movie as a child, and then getting to see the more mature version when I myself am more mature, at least in age. So that's why I really hope that they do release the Schumacher cut. With all that being said, I'm your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and I thank you for watching. If you like this video, then share the hashtag on Twitter. Let's make sure they're listening.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time. Same bat channel.